If you're looking to read more books in the year 2026, this video is for you. I'm going to teach you how to read more books using 4 simple steps. Number 3 is my personal favorite. Step number 1, make a decision. So what books are you looking to read this year? How many books are you looking to read this year? Once you have a goal or number in mind, then begin to break that up into quarters. So here you see the stack of all the books that I'm looking to read, not looking to, that I will be reading Q1 of this year. So you could do this one of 2 ways. You could decide on maybe areas or hobbies that you'd like to focus on, areas of growth, or you can have it tailored all to one specific area. So for Q1, I'm specifically focused on client experience related books, as that's the area and career path that I'm in, which brings us to step number 2. Now that we decided what books we're going to begin reading, we start with our very first book and we begin reading. And as we're reading, we're doing 2 things. We have our highlighters and we have our Post-its. So I go through and I begin highlighting what stands out, highlighting areas that I'm like, ooh, this is very useful for me, and then leaving Post-its on pages that I know I want to go back and review. So I begin doing that all the way throughout the book. And, some people like to write in the margins. I'm particularly not someone who writes in my books or writes in the margin. If that works for you, you can do it in this step. I call this step like my note it phase. I'm just going through, ooh, I like this. This stands out. Note it. And I just begin to mark and leave the information that I like. All of the books here that I'm reading, along with the tools and resources that I use to be able to capture the information, are linked in the description. Tony Robbins has what he calls net time, no extra time. And that's exactly what step number 3 is, no extra time. Meaning, if I'm going to the gym and I know I'm going to be walking on a treadmill for 45 minutes, I'm taking a book with me. And that's a perfect time to combine things that I'm already doing, kind of like habit stacking, as James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. So if I know I'm going to be walking on the treadmill for 45 minutes, I'm bringing a book with me. And that's the perfect time to go ahead and read as I'm getting my walk in. Or one of the places I love to personally bring a book with me is when I go to the recovery station at my gym. And if I'm doing the Norman Tech and I have a book with me, I'm going to go ahead and use that 15 minutes to get some pages in. Or it might be your commute in the morning. You can listen to an audiobook as you're driving to work. You can read a physical book if you're someone who takes the train or public transportation. So however it might look, if you find those pockets within your schedule, maybe it's you're outside and you're going for a run and you're listening to an audiobook as you run, or you're listening to an audiobook as you walk, right? Finding those pockets throughout your day where you can combine habits, reading, along with something you already plan on doing so that you have no extra time, net time. A beautiful quote, and I'm paraphrasing, that I saw from Jackie Hill Perry. Someone had asked her on Instagram once, how do you read so many books within a year? And she said, again, I'm paraphrasing here, if you treat reading like you do snacking, you'd be surprised how many books you're able to complete. And I love that so much because it's so true. If you have a book with you in your backpack, an audiobook that you're listening to on your commute, you'd be surprised how many books you're able to get through if you just go ahead and set aside 15 to 30 minutes. They add up throughout the week. If you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. So now that you've gone ahead, you've made your selection of all the books that you're going to read, you begin reading your book and highlighting and leaving Post-its on the pages that you want to return to. That's exactly what you're going to do in this phase. You've finished the book. You want to make sure that not only you retain the information, but you implement it and you act on it as well. So that's why step number 4 is so important. Step number 4 is a phase in which I go ahead and I grab my note cards, my favorite pens, and I'm going through on those pages that I've highlighted and left marks, and I'm leaving notes on those pages. The things that stood out, the things that mean the most to me, I'm notating that and putting them on the note cards. I'll give you an example here that I have in this book. It's like, I'll go ahead and I'll put Mastery, Chapter 1, and then the things from Chapter 1 on as many note cards as it takes to get through that chapter, and then I'll move on to the next chapter. So now that we've captured the information, we can go ahead, compile the note cards. You have them. You can review them quickly, or maybe later on in the year, you're just like, I read something in a specific book. Which book was it? You can quickly go through the note cards and be able to find those notes of the things that stood out to you so that you're able to implement it much quicker. Here's a bonus tip that I wanted to share as well. If it's a really dense book or a book that just has so much information and I don't want to miss out on any of the information, what I'll do is I'll buy the book twice. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going to buy the physical book along with the audio version of the book so that I'm using all of my senses as I'm going ahead and going through this book and working through this book. I'm listening to the book as I'm reading the book at the same time. Yes, so that I'm fully engaged in the book. And I think of it kind of as if you had a pacer and you're running a race and you had a pacer. Pacer helps sets the time for you, the pace for the race for you. And so the listening to the audio book, that helps set the pace for me as well. So those are my tips for reading more books in this season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and then write in the comment, what book are you reading in this season? I'll see you in the next video. Bye.